Well, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even realize Chaos Theory Season 2 was coming out so soon until literally the day that it released. Brief summary, I like Camp Cretaceous. Chaos Theory Season 1 was pretty much what I kind of wanted from Dominion. So yeah, let's talk about Season 2 and kind of my general spoilery thoughts. So if you haven't seen the show yet, then, you have been warned. And just like all the other videos, I just kind of wrote down some bullet points while watching it, and so I'll probably jump all over the place. First thing is probably Kenji coping with his dad's death, because even though this is like a darker show and there is death, and I feel like here they're doing a lot more with like how graphic they can be, it's still ultimately a kid show, at least like a show for older kids. Not to say that it can't be enjoyed by adults. I mean, I've enjoyed it, but I feel like they're trying to like really ride the line of making Kenji like borderlines almost. Oh, probably can't say that. Sewer slide, as Meat Canyon says. He loves to ride sewer slides, or attempts to. Not like outright, but at least kind of that's the vibe I was getting. They're in the show, they go, oh, he's just very impulsive right now when he's doing these obviously extremely dangerous things that have a very solid chance of him dying. And so, they kind of address it. I wonder if they're gonna address it more. I don't know. I felt like I like what they were doing, but it did feel like it just kind of got resolved pretty quickly. So I guess we'll kind of see. I feel like they are kind of still building more to it. Another thing, Zaina as a character, I do like the dynamic of having this new person into the Camp Cretaceous group. It definitely made for a more interesting dynamic, and I think it worked pretty well. She wasn't like a bad character. I enjoyed her. I can't say that I loved the whole like, oh, another dinosaur human companionship with her and the Gallimimus, like Gaba or something. I don't know. It's a cool looking Gallimimus. Also, I did think it was kind of weird that her mom is encouraging her 14-year-old daughter to go on a potentially really dangerous mission when the camp crew has explicitly stated that, they're being hunted down, that people are tracking them, that, it's like this shady organization. And they're like, yes, let's bring this 14-year-old girl with us, because clearly 14-year-olds is an appropriate age to take on an incredibly dangerous mission with lots of dangerous animals. And then the whole stupid like, oh, I'm 14 and 3/4. Like, shut up. All of these seasons have had like a tiny bit of cringe to them. I feel like that is like part of the charm and stuff. But here more so, a little more cringe, more than normal. That was a little painful at times. Probably the one last other thing, human-wise, that I would say is Brooklyn. I like what they did with her. I do get why that she was hiding from the rest of the camp and why she was saying, oh, I have to stay dead and all that stuff. It makes sense, but on the same hand, up until the whole finding out that one of the DPW, I had to look up that acronym because I could not remember what it was called, but Brooklyn didn't even think about reaching out to her family until the day of the funeral, which just so happened to be the day that oh gosh, I already forgot it. The sketchy government forest ranger dinosaur guy decided to break in. I don't know. It felt like she just waited a long time for that funeral and be like, well, I guess I should stay dead and stuff. No, all the characters, as always, are all very well written. It's just more those couple things that I kind of wanted to highlight it. But the main cast, I feel like they know who to give the spotlight to for each season. And so it's not just the Darius show, not just the Kenji show, not just the Brooklyn show. I mean, obviously Darius probably is the one who gets the most screen time, but I feel like last season was when he was the main focus. And so I feel like this season was a lot more Kenji and Zaina and Brooklyn heavy, which is something that I appreciate, is that they're not afraid to kind of let different characters take the stage, I guess, for each season. And I think that also helps keep the story from getting stale or repetitive, because it's not just, oh, it's another season of Darius learning to do this, or it's, overcoming this weakness of his. It's each character's given chances to grow. I do still stand by that most of their haircuts just look horrible, and I do not like most of them compared to their Camp Cretaceous haircuts, but that's just me. And so now that all that's been said, actually one last couple more things I totally forgot about the human stuff. Sonya, you know that one character with like such a screen prominent presence in Dominion. She's in here. I mean, obviously she's like actually fleshed out compared to Dominion, because Dominion is genuinely the worst piece of Jurassic Park media ever, and I still don't understand how people can defend it and like it. But Sonya's in here, the blonde chick who controls the raptors with the stupid laser pointer. I still hate that, and I never will not stop hating it. If that makes sense. I do feel like she trusts Brooklyn a little too easily, but, it's whatever. I feel like you gotta kind of, incorporate that, and you gotta have that so parts of the story can move on. I do wish that maybe another episode was built on that, but that's just me. And so now I've kind of talked about all that fun stuff. We'll talk about the actual fun stuff, which is all the dinosaurs. And so this season, a lot of Suchomimuses. I know they kind of make a joke about it, and you can tell for each season they have to, use certain models, and I do like that none of the giant carnivores were the main focuses. It wasn't like, oh, it's the T-Rexes, oh, it's the Velociraptors. It was pretty much only the Atrociraptors, Suchomimus, Majungasaurus. I'd say those were probably the bulk of the series. Obviously other dinosaurs are in the show, but those are the ones who get the most focus. And not even just dinosaurs. I thought it was really fun to see a real life animal as an actual threat, with that being the hippo. I know they make a joke about it, but I'm like, hippos are freaking scary. I know when I saw the trailer, I haven't watched any like theory videos or leaks or whatever. I was like, that kind of looks like a Sarcosuchus from like the half second that you see it, but nope, it was just a big old hippo, which was fun to see something different, because especially when they're in the jungles of Africa and they're like, no, the only things we have to worry about are dinosaurs. It's like, no, there's still plenty of other animals there that will kill and maim you. I mean, they show lions' eyes. I was a little underwhelmed. I was kind of hoping that we would get to see the lions, I don't know, fighting dinosaurs or something. I don't know. I can hope. I like lions. They're cool. A boy can dream, can't he? But I did like the hippo versus the Suchomimus fight. I was very curious. I'm like, I wonder how this fight would actually go. Because the Suchomimus does win, even though kind of during the fight it seems pretty even, and then it cuts to night and the Suchomimus is just eating the hippo, which I'm going to call bullcrap that he would leave that carcass, because that's such a huge animal with a ton of fat. I'm like, that would fill that. Even like a Suchomimus, that would fill their stomach for a while. But, you can't have fun action scenes if the carnivorous dinosaurs aren't always bloodthirsty monsters in these series, which I get. But on the same hand, it does, a little take away the message that they're still animals and stuff. But fun fact, at least in real life, I know the Jurassic World versions are much different than real life counterparts, but a hippo has a much stronger bite than a Suchomimus, and Suchomimuses were generally heavier, but not by an outstanding amount that the hippo wouldn't stand a chance. So I felt like even in the show they made it a fairly even fight, even though it would be kind of fun to see like the hippo win. That even though that we have these artificial, bastardizations of dinosaurs in science that have, are almost infecting our world, that like the natural world is still fighting back and stuff, Balance finds a way, let them fight, all that fun stuff from the Monsterverse. Also, I will say, I slightly rolled my eyes that the Majungasaurus was a cannibal again. I mean, I know that there's fossil evidence of it, but on the same hand, it's always the cannibal dinosaur. I mean, it's kind of fun that they're like, this is the crazy psycho dinosaur because it's a cannibal and stuff. And, it does end up killing a Suchomimus, which is fun. But now, probably the best parts, at least in terms of, like, dinosaur stuff that I felt like was actually new and unique to this series, because I feel like even in Camp Cretaceous or Chaos Theory, there's still stuff where it's like, that's fun, but you've seen it before. And even here, it's like, there's only so many times they can hide from dinosaurs, and you're like, yeah, this is still fun, this is still interesting, and still be engaged. Whereas, especially with the blind albino baryonyx, which is just a really simple and cool design, and I like how its hearing is just amplified because of that, and how Dr. McEvil, last minute scientist, created it. Yes, I know he probably has a name, but I didn't care because it just kind of felt very last minute. It's like, oh, we have to have like an evil crazy person, so we don't just have the dinosaur arms dealer as the antagonist of the series. And so, fun idea for a one-off villain, but could have been built up a little bit more. He's just kind of like, yes, I'm the one who killed all the operational crew because I fed them to my baryonyx because it has a very high prey drive and a ravenous appetite, or something stupid like that. But definitely probably my favorite scene where it was like, yeah, I was like, I don't think even probably since the first Jurassic World, I've had a moment where I got legitimately hyped and I was like, that is such a cool idea. But when Sonya tries to sick her Atrociraptor on Dr. McEvil, last minute scientist, and he uses his baryonyx to try to, fight it off using his little snappy thing. I thought that was fun. And then to see the Atrociraptor actually mimic and copy those noises, and when he does it the first time, you're like, what is it doing and stuff, and then it does it again, and you're like, oh, okay. Like, to me, that's the type of fun and unique, intelligent stuff that I want to see from the raptors and other intelligent dinosaurs in this series. And it still feels believable, I guess. Or maybe it's just me. I didn't roll my eyes at it compared to maybe some of the other things super intelligent dinosaurs do in this series. I don't know. It was fun and unique. I liked it. And it's something where I'm like, yeah, I didn't have to stretch my imagination to believe it. And so that's kind of my scatterbrain thoughts on Chaos Theory Season 2, aka Camp Cretaceous Season 6. No. 7. I forgot how many seasons of Camp Cretaceous there was. But yeah, so I'm curious on what all are your thoughts. What was stuff that you liked? What was some stuff that you agreed with me, disagreed? Do you think... I mean, it's pretty obvious that Chaos Theory and Camp Cretaceous are the only objectively good things to come out of the Jurassic franchise post the first movie. And, I will stand on that hill. And so, leave your comments. My name's Cameron. I hope you spank all those buttons. Stay safe out there, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.